1. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the We Got Game esports NHL podcast. Today I'm joined by a very, very special guest, one of the OGs of the We Got Game Tropics. So, yeah, Garns, as they might know you in the community. What's up, man?
Oh, not a whole lot. Just got done work and got home. How about you?
Um, not doing a whole lot either, man. With quarantine and COVID and all that stuff, kind of just staying inside, doing work for We Got Game and all that stuff. So first of all, I just want to kind of get into like your history, just in your life in general, and how it led to playing NHL and just being involved. Because you see he's got the Avs shirt on, so obviously he's a big hockey fan.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I just basically I grew up just a huge hockey fan. Obviously, like my parents just right away put me on skates, and I just loved it. And just started skating immediately.
Yeah.
And then probably around, I want to say like 2003, that year is when I started getting into NHL a bit. And me and my brother would just always play that game, and they had all those fun game modes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just, yeah, it was just a good time back then. Yeah, every year, like, we'd always get NHL for Christmas, and just continued on like that. And around, I want to say, yeah, like when I was 16, 17, I met Chris, and then we started actually like playing with each other, and like playing with another buddy, and we started playing like sixes all the time. Oh, my cat's.
It's all good.
Yeah, and just yeah, we just always like I'd always go to his house because I never had the greatest internet when I was in high school.
Felt that one, bro. Felt that one.
And I would just play with yeah, I'd play with Chris, and it just continued on, and then
that's cool, man. I mean, you said you got into NHL in 2003, so to make you feel old, that's the year I was born. So
yeah, I was 94, so
yeah man. For sure. So you talked about how you met Chris pretty like a long time ago, so kind of get more into your history with Chris and how your relationship has developed.
Yeah, so Chris and I met in high school, obviously about grade 10 or so, and I don't know, to be honest, before I met him, I just thought he was just this weird kid. I was like, he's just a goof. But no, and then yeah, as I got to like meet him, it was just he just has the same sense of humor, and like we just meshed, and like we always say the same stuff. Like we finish each other's sentences sometimes.
Okay.
We just know each other really well, and that like really is what I think is why we are good in NHL, because we just know like where we're going, and just everything just clicks when we play NHL. I honestly wouldn't say that we're the most like skilled in NHL. It's just the fact that we just really know like a lot about it and just where we're going.
100%. Yeah, I mean that's important, right? So you talked about how you played a lot of NHL growing up. So when did you kind of get involved in like the competitive nature of like the gaming community in NHL, or just gaming in general? When did that kind of start?
So I'd say around 2014 is when we would play with like our buddy and just have a good time. But 2017 year with Chris is when we started getting pretty competitive. We always wanted to be near the top, and yeah, we just probably about that year, I'd say 2017.
Okay. And like what kind of like how did it kind of start? Were you guys always good? Did it take a while to get good? How was that for you guys?
No, I wouldn't say we were always good. It took a little bit, because it took a little bit of figuring out. Like we like to figure out like kind of like small things to do. Like we don't want to just always go down, cross crease, shoot, score.
Yeah.
Like we like to slow the game down and figure out like other like plays and low shot rebounds and just a bunch of different stuff. We always like figuring stuff out like that. So I'd say probably around 2019 obviously is when we got like really good.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, for sure, man. So that being said, I want to get into our kind of first kind of sponsored segment here. This one is brought to you by Whoosh. So Obviously Garns probably knows a lot about Whoosh. I got the hat on, and you know what Whoosh kind of does is, as I say in every episode, it keeps your electronics super super clean. The best thing to clean your tech, cause a lot of people don't know our phones are pretty dirty. So you bring in some Whoosh, you get those things clean. So there's two questions I wanna ask you is, so let's say you know it's like a championship game in a tournament. You know, you're down 2-1, and then somehow you get a breakaway, right? 3 minutes left. What move are you putting on the goalie?
Oh, to be honest, I probably wouldn't get too many of those. But I mean, 3-on-3, it does happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not gonna go too fancy. I'm probably just gonna try to do like I don't know. I don't really have a go-to with human goalies. I just kind of do whatever. Like if they're kind of cheating on one side,
Yeah.
I'll pretend like I'm gonna go to the other, then just go to the side that they're cheating on.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, maybe a one-hander. I don't know.
As you guys heard, Garns here doesn't really have like a specific move. So to try kind of change the question, like NHL has like these like really cool moves that you can do, like the one-hander. You have like the Datsu flip and a bunch of like between the legs, the Kucherov. What's one that you think you're just really good at?
Like last year, I was pretty good at the one-hander, to be honest. Like
Yeah.
that was a go-to of mine. But I never really did. Like I never tried any of the fancy stuff, like the Kucherov or the flip or anything.
Yeah.
I just mainly. So I'd say the one-hander one.
Okay.
Then.
Yeah. I mean, the Kucherov's pretty hard, man. I haven't done it either. So I just want to say, what's kind of like your favorite moment in your Chell career, maybe recently or something you kind of have like recorded, something like that.
I'd have to say favorite moment would have to be we got game tournament, the LAN tournament in London there.
Mm-hmm.
That was just a good time with Chris, and we had to use his brother, who wasn't like obviously the best, but it was a good time though. Like we stayed in a hotel, and like it was fun. And
sure.
yeah, we competed pretty well. We played like backyard, and we beat them, and they had Assassin Dragon on their team. He's really well known in the community too.
Mm-hmm.
And then yeah, same with that Ego team. We didn't end up playing them, but you know, we did our best, and we had a good time. That's all that matters.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, from what I've heard, that tournament did look pretty fun. And yeah, Chris told me the same kind of story about how like you had to use his brother, and like it wasn't the greatest, but like, you know, it's good that you guys still had a lot of fun there. But yeah, so that being said, shout out to Whoosh for sponsoring that segment. So moving on to the next question. You know, just a general question for you. What's it like being a We Got Game Tropic, man? What's it like for you?
Oh, I think honestly it's pretty damn cool, because it's nice to get noticed by people, you know, and like I feel like yeah, like all of the top players kind of know each other, and
Yeah.
being a Tropic, yeah, like a lot of people will like I'll get a lot of messages asking if they want to try out for the team or something, and it's just honestly it's really cool. And honestly, like a lot of people in the past like said that the NHL community was kind of toxic, and like a lot of people are, you know, just like kind of rude to everyone. But to be honest, I think that lately it's been, yeah, everyone's been pretty nice and just great people. So I'm kind of, yeah, I've been enjoying it this year.
For sure, for sure. I mean, you talk just as you said, a lot of people say the NHL community is a little bit toxic, and what that kind of brings me to is like the We Got Game kind of influence on the community, or just gaming in general, because we know at We Got Game, you know, we're just trying to push those positive vibes, no negativity, no toxicity. Like in the discords, if you're like being bad or mean to people, you know, Dave says, you know, get out, we don't want that here. So how do you kind of feel that has positively impacted like all your tournaments or just the community in general?
Yeah, I honestly feel like that's a big part. Like I love that Dave does that, because it really just that's what makes the community so much better, right? It just honestly, it just keeps it clean and makes you want to just have fun, you know. And you know, if you're not the best and you're still having fun, it doesn't matter. You're just playing the game, right? Like,
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean that.
Your best.
Yeah, that's what We Got Game is all about. So, the next question I kind of want to ask you is, I've been asking this about everybody, because you know, I think when we see like the top players in the world, their top teams, like you, Chris, I've done interviews with some other guys, is they kind of want to know when you're hopping into an NHL game, like what kind of loadout are you running? Like what position are you, height, that and your traits, and how does it work for you?
Well, for the last year and this year, uh, for the majority of the time, I was running 6'7" defensive defenseman.
Okay.
Um, and honestly, that was like really, really good build for me, just because I like staying back and like
Mm-hmm.
kind of keeping defense. And but lately I went to a 2-way forward.
Okay.
Um, just because I feel like we all kind of felt like we had to, mix it up a little bit, just
Mm-hmm.
because, especially playing nationals in that tournament,
Oh yeah.
they were all small, and like we kind of just figured that maybe we don't all need to be like big guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're kind of trying to find like a happy medium and
Yeah.
like being in the middle and just But yeah, being I really like the two-way forward. He's 6'3", 200 pounds right now. I've been using that, and it's good at defense, and I can do offense too. So
Mm-hmm. So yeah,
yeah.
what do you feel uh like the best kind of traits are for just like defensive player, just the difference between traits you need in threes or sixes?
Um, I pretty much just use all the defensive traits, to be
Okay.
honest. I feel like that's a really big part in NHL, just because if you don't have good defense, then you're probably gonna get scored on a lot.
Yeah.
So especially like that's our whole like tropic kind of thing, is like we really focus on defense first and then score
Mm-hmm.
goals after.
Yeah.
Because if you can shut a team out, only let them have like 3 or 4 or 5 shots,
Mm-hmm.
you're probably gonna win that game.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
even for sixes, I'm gonna be using defensive traits too. Because to be honest, even if you have offensive traits, like you're still gonna be able to score with
Yeah.
defensive traits anyway.
For sure. For sure. So people know the Tropics as like a threes team, right? Like you're top of the leaderboard for threes. You're always top five for the playoffs, and you guys do dabble in some sixes. So what's kind of like? Do you have a preference for one? And is there a reason like maybe sixes you don't play as much? What's the kind of difference there?
Yeah, we mainly are just a threes team. We obviously do like to play the odd sixes. Well, at the start, Chris and I kind of just would play a couple sixes because we like to get like higher in the overall leaderboard.
Yeah.
So you have to play sixes to do that too. But 2v, like just two players playing sixes is kind of difficult, just
Mm-hmm.
because you have to rely so heavily on the computers.
Yeah.
So we kind of stopped doing that. It wasn't as fun. So we just kind of stopped doing that. We said if we get full team on for sixes, obviously we're gonna play.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we just mainly stick to threes, and honestly, it's just so fun playing threes because you just have so much time and space to do
Yeah.
stuff. And if you get a big lead, you can just kind of have fun, do some fancy stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, obviously you have a very special and kind of long relationship with Chris. So what I want to ask you, like obviously that relationship has helped you win. So how have you kind of developed relationships with the other guys like Cody and Vass?
Yeah, actually, they don't live too far from us either. Kind of, they're from around here. Well, Cody's from Hanover, but that's about like uh, 2 hours away from me.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, yeah, when I met Cody online, we were talking about like where we live and stuff, and he knows people that I know, so
Okay.
that kind of clicked. And then yeah, honestly, like we kind of have the same. Cody and I have the same like sense of humor and stuff
Mm-hmm.
too, like that. So it's honestly easy, so easy to talk to him. Really nice guy.
Yeah.
Just he always just wants like what's best for everyone, and he wants everyone to compete hard. And it's just he's just a good guy. And that's yeah, like honestly, like it was just such perfect timing to get him as a goalie. Like he
For
came
sure.
at the perfect time, and he's honestly like he's the nicest guy too.
Yeah.
Just like he is like and I've been actually playing like just Brawlhalla with him just
Okay.
after NHL. We've just been kind of playing side game. Yeah, he's just all around just great guy.
I mean, I gotta agree with you. I've interviewed you're like the fourth member of the team I'm interviewing, so I've already talked to all three of them. But yeah, you guys definitely got a great team, and I'm sure it helps out when you guys need a goal, because the communication is so important, obviously.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah. So the next sponsor segment I gotta get into is brought to you by GamerGoo.
Betty Sue and her opponent Drew are intensely playing Zombie Wall 2. Betty Sue, I'm drenched with dew. My hands feel like they've been dipped in fondue. Of course they do, Drew, you bumbling buckaroo. You're not using Gamer Goo. A non-slip lotion, a hand cream for you. 3 lovely scents worth your review. Peppermint, orange peel, and cinnamon. Ooh, you'll get energy and focus that's long overdue. Don't believe us? Just ask
Justin Clark. The chemistry of GamerGoo involves
not only for gaming, but stick sports too. Could you imagine a match without GamerGoo? Drew placed his order for GamerGoo. They hugged it out, stuck together like glue, but they're brother and sister, and that's kind of taboo.
Unfortunately, I've used all my GamerGoo, so I don't have any with me. But yeah, so what GamerGoo basically does is it stops your sweaty hands at the source. Very, very important for gaming, as I say, man. In NHL, you need to be precise with your fingers, and like sometimes your finger slips and you're shooting it from the point, and you don't want to. So yeah, grab some GamerGoo.
The other day, because I haven't actually got any yet. I think I ordered some for Chris or from Chris, but the other day, my finger had a breakaway, my thumb slipped off, and I said, "Oh, I need GamerGoo."
For sure, fun. Man. No, I know the feel. Like sometimes you take a backhand floater from the point, and like that's not gonna do anything. So
yeah,
GamerGoo helps that out. So what I want to ask you is, if you had to pick, let's say, one NHL game that's your favorite, which one is it?
Yeah. So I think I'm gonna have to go with 2014, just because that's when I'm pretty sure that was the year that they brought in like clubs, or I could be wrong, but that's the year that I got into it with Chris and my other buddy. So, and we just always had such a great time playing clubs together.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna have to go with that one.
Okay, yeah. So you said, obviously though, you've been playing since 2003, and those are like vintage to me. My first copy was 08. Yeah. So when we're thinking like way back when, what's your kind of like, when we say like vintage, like pre like NHL 10, what's your kind of favorite game?
Yeah, so 2003 honestly was probably the funnest one that I played when I was little, just because me and my brother would just always play all the game modes on that, and you could play like Shrink and Grow or that sumo wrestler one. There's just so many fun ones you could play. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that makes sense. I feel like EA needs to do kind of like more stuff like that, just to bring us more fun, because a lot of people just play like one mode, and we need to change that up. But yeah,
a lot of people just get right into HUT or ECHL.
Yeah. Do you kind of play any other modes, or is it just strictly ESHL for you?
Just strictly that, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I used to play a little bit of HUT, but honestly, I couldn't really. I would start buying stuff, and I'm like, I can't justify buying packs. I was like, I just can't do it anymore.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, day one, all of a sudden, every team is like full of 99s, and like, I walk in there with bronzes, and this guy has Gretzky as his first line center. I'm like, okay, well, I'm not gonna win.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, some people just like paying money, like buying packs and aren't that great, but then there's the guys that are just really good at it.
Yeah, they're just sick. So yeah, shout out to GamerGoo for sponsoring that segment. As I said prior, I've used all my GamerGoo because it's been very useful. But yeah, stop your sweaty hands at the source. Become much better at gaming in general, more precise movement. So yeah, grab that GamerGoo for sure. So the next question I want to ask you is, it's gotta be nice to be the best team in the world, right? So how does that kind of like, when you're the best team in the world, how does that feel when you're going into a lobby or just in general? What kind of confidence does it bring?
Well, I mean, honestly, like, I think we're definitely top team. I wouldn't honestly say we're the best, even though, like, we are, like, number 1 threes. But, I mean, honestly, there are very good teams out there. I'd say we're honestly, like, top 4 or so. Like, but, yeah, right now we're first in 3, so I guess we are the best. But, yeah, so just, I think it's honestly, I think people might be, if they're looking at this online they're going to be like, oh, that's the Tropics. And I think that's honestly really cool, just to know that people are looking out and just like always know if they're playing the Tropics. And just, honestly, just a really cool feeling, and just makes me feel special, I guess.
I mean, yeah, I bet sometimes when you go into a lobby, people see the Tropics and they just leave the game. Because I might do that. I might do that.
That happens a lot, actually. Yeah, it happens probably every time we're on, at least 4 or 5 times.
Bro, I see the best team in the league. I'm not trying to play them, man. That's an automatic loss. What? That's crazy. But that's a pretty big call. I mean, there's so many teams, right? Being the best is just insane, especially with the new playoff system, right? You're facing against every single team in the world, so that's pretty sick, honestly.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, we talk about the Tropics influence. So how do you think the Tropics are kind of pushing their influence and just helping make the NHL community just better for the people that participate in tournaments or just in general? Because I know Chris has been involved in getting people in tournaments, kind of spreading the words and things like that.
Yeah, so Chris and Cody and Bass actually all have really good connections with people and like the top players, and it's just honestly, we're all becoming closer with it, and with We Got Game especially hosting these tournaments is just awesome, because we can just get all these people involved, even if they're not like tier 1 teams. Honestly, just anyone can go out to that, and it's just perfect. Everyone's becoming closer, I feel, and it's just a good time.
For sure. And then, like, as we talked about the tournament, so how do you think of your ability to like rise to the occasion in tournaments, or just the genuine like competitiveness inside you when you're in game?
I think a big part of that is just making sure that we're all ready to go when we come on, like the team, and just we're communicating. Communicating is a really big part in trying to win tournaments, right? For me, I just try to really focus on playing the best defense I can, and just trying to set Chris and Cody up for goals, and just I just really just you gotta focus hard and make sure you're not not paying attention, have someone fly by you and on a breakaway.
For sure.
That can happen.
So talking about your defensive ability, I know Chris is typically the defenseman for like the threes team, but obviously in threes we know the positions are kind of fluid. So what I want to ask you is, you're pretty into the NHL and kind of the like knowing about what's going on. So who do you think's your NHL player comparable?
In like real NHL life?
If you had to pick one compared to your ESHL play.
Well, I mean, when I was 6'7", I'd have to say Zdeno Chara. Right now, I'm gonna have to say I like. That's a tough one actually, because I wanted to say like Morgan Riley, but I mean he kind of is more offensive than me, so I mean I'd have to say. That's a tough one. Trying to really think here.
I mean, you said like two-way forward. When I think two-way forward, I think of like the Sean Couturiers, the Mark Stones, the Patrice Bergerons, the Anze Kopitars, those kind of guys.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking more of a two-way defenseman kind of guy actually, but
like a Dougie Hamilton, Alex Bertrand,
Dougie Hamilton's a good one actually. I'd have to go with him.
Okay, Dougie Hamilton, he's sick, man. He's sick. So, I mean. You said Morgan Riley, which I think is odd because, Morgan Riley just doesn't play any defense at all. So
yeah. I mean, he's all I could think of right away off the top of my head.
But I mean, the Dougie Hamilton's really good. So if that's who you play like, you're in good shape, man. You're in good shape. So just my last question here. I've been asking this to every Tropics player. So right now we're in NHL 21. You guys are a sponsored team. So what I want to ask you is, kind of what's it like being a sponsored team, and how do you want to carry the relationship maybe 5 years from now, 10 years from now?
It's honestly, it's a blessing, like it's just like really cool that we got this opportunity, and we're trying to make the most out of it, and it's just awesome. It's an awesome feeling. Down the line I feel like we can just keep what we're doing, right, and just honestly, I want to say like, because I'm getting married soon. I don't know. I might not be around as much. Like I obviously I want to be, like there for Chris and the guys, and obviously I'm gonna be, like a sub, continue to just being there and supporting them as much as I can.
100%.
Yeah, for me, yeah, I feel like it's kind of in that direction, but
okay.
I know I'm 26 now, right? I'm getting a little bit older.
For sure, man. You're 8 years older than me, so.
Yeah, I gotta slow down at some point, but I'm 100% gonna, be there and keep supporting.
Yeah,
the
for
Tropics
sure, man.
all over.
For sure, man. Yeah, I know one thing Vass was kind of telling me is like he wants people to like associate the NHL game with the Tropics, and I think the way the trajectory you guys are pushing, that could definitely happen, man. I'm looking forward to it.
Oh yeah, I feel like it is.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. But yeah, I mean, really, other than that, I think we covered everything I wanted to cover. Shout out to your cat for making a couple appearances here. That was great.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. I mean, other than that, I'm gonna wrap up. So thank you all for tuning into this episode. Shout out to Garns for coming on with me, taking a half hour out of his time. He's a busy guy, So, thanks for coming on, man. I appreciate it.
All right, thanks a lot, man. That was awesome. Thank you.
But other than that, just kind of some housekeeping stuff I gotta say here. We got every episode of this podcast drops Fridays at 6 p.m. So look for that on the We Got Game _Corp YouTube channel. Also, you can use We Got Game _Corp to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff. Our season 4 of our 3v3 league is going right now. Some of the Tropics are playing in that. So yeah, look out for that. Other than that, thank you all for watching, and we'll see you all in the next one. Peace out, everybody.